welcome back. It's still Business Incorporated on Channels Television. We'll head to the market now for intraday numbers with Aniti Edet. Aniti, good afternoon.
Yeah, happy new week, happy holiday shortened week for most of our viewers.
Wish you same, Aniti.
Exactly, but we're not on holiday. Okay,
yeah,
so
you signed for it.
Before I start with, I'd want to ask you, how much did Nigeria make from the stock market last year?
I guess I have to ask you that, since you're on the market.
So it was about 40 trillion naira, and that's up from 27.91 trillion naira recorded in 2022. And last year,
2022 or 2023?
2023, we had about 40 trillion naira recorded from the stock market as at the end of 2023. And that's a rise when you compare that to 27.91 trillion naira recorded in 2022.
So are we looking forward? I know we've had some listings this year, at least two. Aradel has been in the news, and there was the other smaller company that was listed also. So we expect that the market cap is bigger in 2024 compared to 2023. So also we should expect the gains to be more. And we're still in the positive by now. Well,
we're still in the positive, very much in the positive, at about 36.13%. And when you were talking about the market cap, all the way from 40 trillion, 50 trillion, we're now within the 61 trillion naira threshold. And this is in the midst of all the profit taking by some investors who put their money where their mouth is.
Did we hit a new high on the market cap this year?
It is actually a new high.
Yeah.
And the market is still climbing, still very much positioned within the top 20.
Yeah, but for the index, the all-share index, we've dropped from our new high. We went higher to about 106,000. Yeah, and we're not 101.
Just still hanging on to that 101.3 trillion naira, 101.3 index points. This is the last track as at Friday, but so far at intraday we have a new number which we'll be looking at just in a couple of seconds from now. Okay, so now let's take a look at intraday market performance for Nigeria's stock market as well as other stock markets. Well, myself and Ini, we were talking about Nigeria's stock market, how the level has increased. Sometime in February this year, we had seen it climb to about 106,000 points, and then, of course, went back and forth. At some point, it even fell to as low as about 92,000. But so far, the market, month to date, at 3.14% has been able to climb back into the 101,323.39 index point, and this was just about 1 hour ago, and so far it's in the green, taking up from last week where the market closed the week up by 1.06% and gaining about more than 1%, and at the same time also gaining more than 106 trillion naira. So far the market is in the green. And the same thing for the Johannesburg Stock Exchange, 84,706.75, up by 0.12% for the intraday market numbers. And for the other markets, the only pullback that we saw for the market was just on the EGX 30 at intraday numbers. It was down by 0.25% at 30,291.84. And for the Nairobi Stock Exchange, for the close of Friday's trading session, it was in the green, 0.31%. Okay, so now from the equities market, let's talk about the Forex market. Now, just Forex market, we've seen quite a number of arsenal of measures taken by the central bank to spur the level of liquidity within the Forex market. Talk about the interventions. We've talked about the remittances. We've talked about the Dutch auction system. We've talked about the recent EFMs being announced by the central bank. And so far, how has all of this played into the Forex market? Well, we will be bringing our analysts to talk about that. Senator Audu, who is a fixed income dealer, who's a Forex and fixed income dealer, as well as an analyst to tell us more about this. Thank you for joining us, Senator.
Thanks for having me, Anita. Good morning. Good afternoon.
Okay. So, Senator, 2024 is very much on its way out. We have just a couple of days, less than about 10 days to the end of the year. But let's take a review of Nigeria's Forex market. Now, how did the Forex market evolve throughout the year 2024 with all of this arsenal that I've just mentioned by the central bank?
So we've seen the CBN deploy several strategies to try to stabilize the exchange rate. and we've seen that the latest introduction has been fruitful. We've seen the FX rate remain at just above 1.5 on Friday. It closed at 1,536 naira to the dollar. This was an appreciation week on week from about 1,550, 1,540 earlier last week. We saw an appreciation this week. We've seen the market embrace that platform. That's the FX matching system. We've seen the market embrace it wholeheartedly, and we've seen some appreciation. And last week as well, we saw the CBN come in to give BDCs a license to purchase about $25,000 per week from the official market, and that license was largely to address the need for dollars during this festive period. So we have, of course, seen the CBN continue to intervene in different ways, and we've seen some results.
Okay, so Senator, so now how has the level of reserves impacted on the Naira stability?
We've seen strategies in that regard as well. We've seen the CBN, of course, get funds into the reserves. We've seen it cross 40 billion this year, and that's largely as a result of efforts by the CBN to encourage dollar inflows into the market. So we've seen strategies such as an increase in the OMO bill rate to above 24%, which is a yield of above 30%. So we've seen market players welcome those rates and inflow dollars in the form of foreign portfolio investments. Besides that, we've seen Nigeria raise the Eurobond for a total of about $2.2 billion. Strategies such as that have, of course, improved the reserves and put Nigeria in a robust position in our quest to, of course, stabilize the exchange rate.
Okay, so talking about stabilizing the exchange rate and looking ahead into 2025, so what is your outlook for Nigeria's forex market as well as the forex reserves in the coming year?
It does look bright. We have seen an improvement in the exchange rate. This rate got to as high as 1,800, 1,900 earlier in the year, and we've seen the CBN work hard to contribute to reducing that rates to just above 1.5 that we are now. With regards to where we see rates next year, we do expect more stability. The CBN does seem to have a strategy in mind, a playbook in mind that is being deployed, and we've seen a lot of those strategies beginning to yield fruit. So we do expect that we would see next year a stabilization in rates. From the budget presented by the president. We do not expect much of a shift, particularly on the monetary side. We do expect that the CBN governor and the MPC continue to monitor inflation carefully to ensure that our rates are in line with the plans to bring down the inflation currently experienced. We do expect more of the same next year.
Okay, thank you so much for your time, Senator. And of course, we have with this your optimistic outlook. It's nice to have a very optimistic look for the coming year, especially for the stability of the Naira. Thank you so much for your time on our show.
Thanks for having me, Anita. Have a great day.
So that was Senator Audu, fixed income and forex dealer with Access Bank, giving us details about Nigeria's forex market, what's the review as well as the outlook for 2025. Okay, so now let's take a look at what to expect from the Nigeria's financial market. Just like across other countries, many countries around the world, all are expected to observe a Christmas break on December the 25th as well as December the 26th, which is Boxing Day. So Nigeria's financial market is not left behind there. So the markets will be closed for these two holidays. And when the market resumes, the central bank is expected to hold its last Nigeria Treasury bills auction, that's a primary market auction on December the 27th, and that will be the last one for the year. So far, the market will be looking out for that once the market resumes from the Christmas break. And talking about the equity side of the market, the rally, we're expecting that there's going to be a Santa rally, but that Santa rally, well, we saw it coming a little bit. We saw a positive sentiment dominating about 4 sessions last week, and analysts are saying that they expect that the rally will persist on investors bargain hunting for high value stocks such as Aradel and so many others on the market. And then for the market, we're also expecting that there will be a decline in the Treasury bills yield, which is as unanticipated influx of liquidity into the system. And finally, for the expectations that the market will be expecting, we expect that the FX liquidity will be kind of suboptimal despite CBN's intervention into the FX market. And this is because the inflows there are expected to go weaker. And that, of course, we got all of that source from Codros as well as Channels Business Research. Okay, so now from the domestic market, we move on to the Middle East, where we see mixed sentiments here. The Dubai and the Abu Dhabi indexes, both on the United Arab Emirates, one is in the green and one is in the red. Two sides or two colors of the Christmas, but not too good at the same time for some of this market, because you see bargain hunting and profit taking on both sides of the market. And it's also the same thing for the Saudi Arabia's stock market. That's the Tadawul as well as the Qatari Stock Exchange. One wearing the green and one wearing the red. 0.39% for the Saudi Arabia's Tadawul, and the Qatari Stock Exchange 0.20% in the red, 10,537.34. So from Middle East, we fly over to the United States, where we see the Dow Jones Industrial Average as well as the other two averages, the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ, in the green, on the green, ahead of the holiday shortened week. Tomorrow, the US will be closed well, it will be slightly thin trading, so the markets will be closed by 1 a.m. And of course, they're also preparing 1 p.m. Eastern time, so the markets will be preparing for the Christmas holiday. And of course, we saw that month to date, the Dow Jones Industrial Average is down about 4%. For the S&P 500, it's off 1.7%, while the NASDAQ is about 1.8% up this month. So far for these markets, it's kind of a mixed trading. On Friday, all the three majors, they were in the green. We saw the Dow Jones gaining about 1.18%. The S&P added 1.09%, while the NASDAQ was up 1.03% for the close of Friday's trade session. So that's it for the US markets. And finally, on the Asian markets, we see all the indexes except for, I think that was a little bit of fast finger from our master control room there. The Nikkei was up, one of the biggest gainers there, besides the South Korea's Kospi, which was up by 1.57%. Nikkei was up 1.19%, and this is because of the news or reports of the merger, which was announced sometime last week. But of course, that news is continuing. The merger between Nissan and Honda, which is expected to create the third largest auto company around the world. So that news has, of course, spurred the Nikkei, that's the Japanese stock exchange, the Nikkei 225, into the green territory. And of course, all the investors are also playing into that news. Of course, at the same time, they're holding a press conference on that merger talk between Honda and Nissan. For the other two sides of the market that we track, which we saw earlier, Shanghai is in the red, 0.50% for the close of Monday's trading session, while the Nifty 50, one of India's benchmark stock exchange index, is up 0.7% for the close of Monday. That's it for the market for Monday.
Thank you so much, Anita.
Pleasure.